We were supposed to have somebody read the Science of Mind book, but we don't have any right now, so okay, so that's why. So I guess we come to the best part. Now I get to introduce the speaker, the lady with the power with the fours. I get to introduce Reverend Joanne Boruck. She's going to talk about today, may the force be with you. I always think of that one, the power of force, but I'm your father, Luke.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Good morning, beautiful. Oh, thank you. I wish I could bottle that and just open the jar every morning. Everybody saying, good morning, beautiful. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Red Deer. As I speak these words of opening affirmation, I begin with, may the force be with you. With great gratitude and loving kindness, I invite you to close your eyes and join me as I speak these words. There is only one force, one power, one presence I call God. And I speak these words in the first person, knowing that they are true for all those who claim it as their truth. That I am one with it all. I am a force to be reckoned with because I am a force for peace. I am a force for love. I am a force for power. As life unfolds before me, I open my heart, my mind, and my hands to do what needs to be done to use this power greater than I am. It flows within and without me and you, and there is nothing beyond our grasp. And I bathe in this because I know I am not alone. I have universal life force energy. Whatever name I give it, I am here to master my experience and to be the best I can be. I work hard at it every day so that it becomes who I am, effortlessly and limitless, with gratitude from the depth of my being for this truth, for the spiritual growth of our center, for the ability to share this truth with others, knowing that we are all one. I let this go. And so it is. Let's hold those in our thoughts, those in our family, our friends, that need to know that there is a power and a force within and without. And if they ever need a light, we would be happy to use our flame to help them remember their light. Today I speak for my sister Susan. Thank you. So are you guys ready to hear some really amazing stuff? I had written before, are you ready to have your mind blown? But I thought that was pretty drastic. Are you ready to have your mind expanded? That's better. And I sure hope you are, because I gained a whole new understanding about this word force. Our theme for May is good to great to grand. And I was thinking about force, and I was thinking, wow, we've done really good to get this far, so far. And we are a great example to others who don't know this truth. But I, for one, am ready to step into grandeur and to be the grandest self I can be. So there was a couple of reasons I chose this title, May the Force Be With You. And one of them is, I'm going to talk about it a couple of times, but Brenda recommended this book by Michael Singer. He wrote The Untethered Soul. And the second one is The Surrender Experiment. So he talked about surrendering to whatever was happening in life. So that was one thing. But also last week, my son Gary sent me a picture, and he went to Comic-Con. I don't know if you've heard of Comic-Con. It's a big celebration of science fiction, comic characters, caricatures, anime, all those things. And he takes his daughter every year, and this year he went as a Star Wars character. And then, lo and behold, it was May the 4th this week. May the 4th be with you. So all those three things showed up as memes on my Facebook and social media, and I thought, what a perfect title. May the Force be with you. And I have to tell you that I've always been intrigued with George Lucas since I haven't seen many, and I usually went with my grandkids, and I spent the whole time saying, what was that? Who is he? Until my grandson says, shh. Watch it when I'm not here. But there was one time in one of the movies where they were going into a room, and nobody knew what was behind the door, and there was a square box, a crystal box outside the door. And they said to him, whoever was going in, because the names are all odd, this is a hologram, he says. And whatever you think into it, that is what will be inside that door. So he looked at this box, and he decided he wanted a beautiful woman, he wanted a good meal, and sure enough, he opened the door, and this hologram started to form. And when I started to come here, I thought, that's just like in the Star Wars movie. There's a hologram. So that stuff was really astonishing to me. And I've always been moved after that by that thought when Han Solo said, may the Force be with you. So my intention today is just to remind you of what you already know, that there's a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. And this power is used by so many. But I also want to talk a little bit about last week I talked about thoughts and how they're creative, and how important it is to use your thoughts constructively. Do you know that phrase, may the force be with you, is quoted, the word force is quoted over 300 times in the Star Wars movies. So I started looking them up. Do you know Darth Vader said, don't underestimate the force? And I'm going to tell you some names that may not make sense. Qui Gon Jinn says, wow, I am a manifestation of the force. A force that consists of two living parts being generated by the force. First, there's a living force, and then there's a wellspring of cosmic force. And Kanan Jarius said, now, I know there's something stronger than fear, far stronger. The force. And also it goes on to say, in many places there, they said to each other, the force is with you always. What a loving tribute to say to someone. And of course, the one that we hear the most is, may the force be with you. So I got on my computer and I started researching what it said about force. And I came across things written by, I'm not the first one to delve into this. There was Christians, Buddhists, Muslims, all looking into this Star Wars thing about the Force. And the Buddhist said, I think the Jedi was expressing a universal religion and moving away from polarizing religion, finding commonality in what can be defined as spirituality. So the Buddhists talk about the Force as a potential for unlimited expression to attain enlightenment. And the Buddhists call it unbounded spirituality. They interviewed some of the actors on Star Wars, and one of them says that he thinks the Star Wars movies are here to remind us of our potential greatness. And he goes on to say, maybe the force that shows up in all religions is just phrased another way. Like in some religions it says, peace be with you, and then you say to your neighbor, peace be with you. Some religions say, the Lord be with you, and you reply, and also with you. And I read in there that George Lucas got that phrase, may the force be with you, from a church that started with, peace be with you. But I couldn't corroborate it, so I'm just saying that I believe it's true, because I love it. And when I think about that word force, it's a pretty strong word. And I really couldn't find it in religion. And I know why. Because they don't, you just got to speak my truth. They don't want us to know there's a force within us. And it's not outside of us. It's within us. And we can use it for good. But force doesn't have to be moving forward. It could be just standing still. Carmen does this exercise where you ground yourself into the earth when we're doing one of the many courses. And you try, if you ground yourself into the earth, nobody can push you over. A bulldozer. You are just so firm. That's force. So it doesn't have to mean moving forward. But it can be moving forward in the direction of your dreams. It's certainly a different way to look at our oneness with Creator, that it's a force to be reckoned with. In Spiritual Fitness, Reverend Arnott talks about these two ways of thinking. And when I think about spirituality, and I was thinking about the Buddha saying that it's unbound spirituality. She said something in her book that really resonated with me and never fit in any talk. So I'm just going to tell you, and you might hear it again. She says that we've lived long enough with earth-level thinking, and now it's time for soul-level thinking. That earth-level thinking hasn't been working very well. But Ernest Holmes did talk about this force. In The Science of Mind, he described this God force. He says it's universal mind, spirit, intelligence. It's the origin of everything. It's first cause. It's God. The universal life and energy finds an outlet in and through all that is energized, through everything that lives. Joyce knows what force is. She used the incredible force of love to buy me a cherry blossom. I did a talk a long time ago about love languages. And I said that my love language was service, but I loved gifts, especially cherry blossom. Joyce, you never forgot that. You are a force to be reckoned with. Everybody writes my talk for me. So first it was the Buddhist, it was George Lucas, it was Han Solo, and then Donna gives me this one. I'm going to read it in a minute because I don't think I'm there yet, Donna. So now we're thinking about soul-level thinking and a powerful force. But how do you get there? How do you awaken your soul to the things that bring you into soul-level thinking? Well, it's not all about the mind. Sometimes you have to change your environment. Whether you build an altar, whether you have certain music, whether you have a book, a phrase. For me, when I want to go into my soul-level thinking, I burn incense. Smells are so important to me. So the first thing I want you to really embrace is what brings you close to your soul, and do more of that. And the greatest thing about our memory is that we don't even have to carry that incense stick everywhere you go, or that song or that guitar. You can implant it in your memory. And if it's someone you love that you want that nurtures your soul, whether it's Ernest Holmes or Buddha or Jesus, you can carry a picture. You know, there's this weird concept. We used to carry a wallet with us. And we had pictures in our wallet. My dad had pictures of us, and it was sacred. And whenever he went somewhere, he'd pull it out and say, "These are my kids." And I think when we first got phones, we used to do that too. "Oh, you want to see all my grandkids?" And so they're sacred to us, but I think holding a picture is so much more than what's on our phone. So you can carry it with you because it's something you love. And you know, love, it's a physical manifestation of power and force. The other great manifestation of force is hugs. Wow, I got so many hugs today. Wow, that's a force you can work with. The forceful hug. When you feel each other's heart beating against each other, oh, that's so sacred. You know, when I was writing my talk, I was thinking, there was this truck across the street, a diesel truck, starts his motor, boom, 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 boom. And I was thinking, I wish I could just go out and force that guy to shut that off. That's not the kind I had to tell myself. No, that's earth level thinking, and that's not the kind of force I want. I want the universal life force within me. So I went and got an incense stick. Now, David, don't you tell that guy across the street that I was mad he was running. You know him. So I couldn't physically go out and force him. The only force I have is universal life force. So I lit my incense and I started on my soul level thinking. And now I want to go to some of the things we talked about last week, which was thoughts. Our thoughts are so important. Do you know we actually have 3 kinds of thoughts? We have random thoughts, we have habitual thoughts, and we have trained thoughts. And I know this goes against some of the teaching of Ernest Holmes, but just stick with me for a minute. Because we're taught that all thought is creative. But surely that's not true, because we have 90,000 thoughts a day. So when I think about random thoughts, those are the things that just go flitting through your mind, and they're only creative if you allow them into your consciousness and believe them. They're just random thoughts. Now, habitual thoughts. Whoa, that's another double-edged sword. Because we are relearning ourselves. We're reprogramming ourselves. Our habitual thoughts, Donna and I talked about this last night, when you wake up in the night and you tell yourself the same story over and over and over and over and over. Well, you can't get rid of those thoughts. You have to pull the weeds, you have to pull them out, but then there's a big hole in the ground, so you got to replace them with something. You might as well replace them with love, with power, with strength. So those are the thoughts really that we have to be concerned with. Those are the ones that we need to weed out. And last week I gave you a package of seeds so you could go and spread them wherever. They're wildflower seeds, because you have to replace empty with something to fill you up. Some people use color. I use music. I use incense. But you have to do something with your habitual thoughts. Michael Singer in the Surrender Experiment, wow, he didn't even really focus on his random thoughts, his habitual thoughts, or his trained thoughts. He did one thing. He started saying yes, and he realized how much of life he missed out on by overthinking it. So he just stopped doing that. So habitual thoughts are creative because they send us into that monkey mind, that squirreling mind. So as soon as you notice yourself, it's a little harder at 4 a.m, but as soon as you notice during the day, you can say, I'm pulling that weed and I'm planting a positive thought. I think that's what we all strive for. When I say I want to be the best I can be, I want all my thoughts to be healthy, wholesome, and loving. And Joyce. Donna said she just started doing affirmations. But I just start singing. Carmen was talking today about singing, I am a light in the world. And I love that because that's one of those songs like bingo, you know. There was a dog who had man who had a dog, and bingo was his name, oh. And you drop the O and the G. So I am a light in the world. That is a full phrase, but what about if you drop world? I am a light. And if you drop light, I am. All of that is a complete phrase. So I want to read this treatment Donna gave me that she wrote about weeding, because that's where we make the changes. We weed out our thoughts, and we plant powerful, forceful thoughts. It says, God, Goddess, all that is, I acknowledge all is love. The word I speak is for the Center for Spiritual Living, Red Deer. I open myself to the wisdom within, knowing there is one intelligence. Out of this one intelligence comes all the answers, all the solutions, all the healings, and all the new creations. I replace a weed like an old habit with the seed of wisdom and shower it with love. I embrace the weed, allowing it to transform and uncover another layer of my magnificence as expressions of God. The weed is a divine gift. I love myself more. When a weed pops up, the weed pulls me towards my vision. I live in my heart and I become lighthearted. I am unconditional love. I am unconditional love, which is the color of enlightenment, the color of the soul, the color of full consciousness, the color of oneness. I will accomplish when I believe I can accomplish. The infinite knows I am limitless. I control my words as repetition impresses the subconscious. I release the words into the law of God, and so it is. Thank you, Donna. So there I am, talking about peaceful planting, holy harvest. Donna goes home, harvests the holy treatment. When did you write that, Donna? How old is that? Oh, don't ask you. Okay, well, there's a force within you that knows. So the greatest thing about talking about this force is that you're not alone. When you think, oh, where am I going to get this force from? Do I have to create this whole thing of force? Well, guess what? We're not creators. We're co-creators. Creator is spirit, God, universal life force. It's already there. We just have to pull it and create with it. And you know, there's 3 things to changing a thought pattern. From random, that aren't too bad, to habitual, that are a little more constructive, to trained thought, which is replacing and making your habitual thoughts positive, positive, positive. There's 3 things that you need. You need intention. I make the intention to change my thoughts to one of power and force. Decision. The intention's good. We state intentions all the time, but then you got to make a decision to follow through, and then you got to commit to it. Nobody can make you commit. And if you lose your focus, go back. What's your intention? That gets it started. And what's your decision? What are you going to do about it? That keeps it going. And once you've made a commitment, that ball just keeps rolling and rolling. You know, Byron Katie says, I don't let go of thoughts. I question them, and they let go of me. I really like that. I was thinking about how we could express our loving thoughts to other people, and it really brought me to the metta prayer. I don't know if I know you know it. It's a loving kindness prayer. And we're going to do that. I'm going to drum that in a minute. But I just want you to really embrace these quotes from Star Wars. I am a manifestation of the Force. There's something stronger than fear, something far stronger, the Force. The force is always with you. And how can you honor that? How can you honor the precious gift of power and force? Well, everything starts in the morning when your feet hit the floor. So the first thing you can do is offer a blessing. The metta prayer, also known as the loving kindness prayer, starts with may, which coincidentally, may the force be with you. But this one is, may all beings be peaceful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be awakened to the light of their true nature. And may all beings be free. And throughout the day, as you walk past somebody who's having a crappy day or just looks sad, you don't have to say it out loud, but just think it. May you find peace. May peace be with you. If you know them, you could say that. May you find peace. And that's not hard. And then at the end of the day, before you hit the bed, think of all the blessings as you turn out the light. And whisper aloud, may all beings be happy. May all beings be free. Karen Drucker wrote a little song to this. And it starts with, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. And then we're going to do, may you be filled with loving kindness. And may we be filled with loving kindness. Got to wait till I get the beat. May I be filled with loving kindness. Join me. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am. Reverend Joanne, faith, peace, and love, Boruck. May the force be with you, and so it is.